here we have the product rule, which is used for finding the derivative of functions which are the products of two other functions. So here it states that the derivative of uv with respect to x is equal to u multiplied by the derivative of v with respect to x plus v multiplied by the derivative of u with respect to x. In this video, I am going to prove this. So we know that duv by dx is equal to the limit as delta x tends to 0 of delta uv over delta x. Now, if we consider what delta uv actually is here, it's going to be the new uv after the small change, so u plus delta u multiplied by v plus delta v, and then minus the initial uv, so minus uv. Now, if we expand this out, it gets us u delta v plus v delta u plus delta u delta v. The uv cancels out with a uv from in here. So if we put that back in our formula up here, we get duv by dx is equal to the limit as delta x tends to 0 of u, now let's put this all in brackets because it will be a sum, but u multiplied by delta v over delta x plus v multiplied by delta u over delta x plus delta u multiplied by delta v over delta x. Now, the limit of a sum is the same as the sum of the limits, so we can separate this out, and we can say it is equal to, well, first we can take the u out of the first one because it isn't changing. So we say u multiplied by the limit as delta x tends to 0 of delta v by delta x, and then plus, and we can do the same thing with this one, we can take out the v, so v multiplied by the limit as delta x tends to 0 of delta u by delta x. Now for the last one, we can't take out the delta u, but not completely, but we can split it into two limits because the limit of a product is the product of the limits. So we can say it is equal to the limit as delta x tends to 0 of delta u multiplied by the limit as delta x tends to 0 of delta v by delta x. Now, as delta x tends to 0, delta v by delta x tends to dv by dx, and delta u by delta x tends to du by dx. And because u is a function of v, as delta x tends to 0, delta u also tends to 0. So this last term will just disappear. Therefore, we are just left with duv by dx is equal to u multiplied by, and we've shown here that this is just equal to dv by dx, and then plus v multiplied by, and we have shown over here that this is equal to du by dx. So here is our product rule.